Enactus Surrey, individuals from 21 different countries and diverse backgrounds have gathered together to create and implement 4 different projects. I'm Barney, and with me today are
Swista,
Benza,
Noma, with Josh and Misa joining us on technology. As a team, we thrive to make an impact in any possible way. And as a community, we sense the need to change and improve the world around us and feel that we can contribute back to our communities.
As an Enactus team, we are strong believers in the power of diversity to provide innovative solutions to problems.
And as students from a campus university, the sense of community which is incubated here is something that we feel strongly about, and it is something that we try to bring to our projects, both locally and internationally.
From helping local secondary schools to helping reduce waste in Brazil.
From helping to reduce youth unemployment in Guildford to providing sustainable lighting to those living in poverty in the Philippines.
We are here today representing our 58 members who this year have dedicated time to both our social and commercial projects.
This year, along with our commercial team, we have generated over £4,200 of revenue by hosting successful fundraising events, such as club nights and other activities. We have also received funding from ITCs totaling £900.
These fundraising events and grants ensure that year on year, we constantly have the funds we need to make an impact on our social project, and that as a team, we are financially sustainable.
With that, let us take you 6,795 miles to the Philippines.
how many people have turned on a light today without much thought?
has anyone in the room ever had to make a decision between light and health?
In the Philippines, 11% of the population, that's 11 million people, are forced to use kerosene lamps every day as their only source of light.
Kerosene lamps provide light, but have dire impacts on those using them on a daily basis, especially children.
Studies conclude that using kerosene lamps is the equivalent of smoking 2 packets of cigarettes every day.
Imagine sacrificing your family's health just so you could have an evening meal together.
I was born in the Philippines and I have seen this problem. I have grown up with this problem, and we are solving this problem. Project Source was set up to respond to the use of kerosene lamps in rural communities in favour of a safe, reliable and sustainable source of light.
We saw an opportunity to reduce kerosene usage, provide sustainable lighting to marginalised communities, empower beneficiaries and tackle poverty.
Taking this into account, we developed a solution. Source. Our solution is simple. Using recycled plastic bottles filled with water, LED lights connected to a compact solar panel, we were able to produce the solar bottle, which is installed in the roofs and grouted to prevent water ingress.
Daylight is refracted through the bottle to illuminate the interior, and at night the solar-powered LED provides light for up to 12 hours.
To achieve our goal, we have worked alongside students at the Technological University of the Philippines who have helped us manufacture and install the bottle lights.
We have also worked with the Negros Women for Tomorrow Foundation and the Chubang Gim Foundation, both organisations committed to alleviating poverty through providing microfinance and developmental services. Last year, with our project partners, we identified 2 locations in the provinces of Negros Occidental and Sarangani to implement the project.
In May of 2017, we travelled to the Philippines to establish Phase 1. This included conducting a needs and wants assessment and installing test bottles in Negros Occidental.
It was at this point when we first met Teresita. Teresita has 2 children and was cut off from the grid. She, like many others in the community, have an overdependence on kerosene and were exactly the people we wanted to help.
Many of our target communities and beneficiaries, like Teresita, are located in remote, hard-to-reach areas. Furthermore, Teresita and her community were very hesitant to engage with outsiders, let alone overseas students. But, having grown up in the Philippines, alongside the local knowledge of our project partners, we were able to gain the trust of the local communities to establish our product.
So the next phase was the launch of our pilot studies to ensure that the needs of the communities were being met, to test the product and to establish our relationship with them.
In the summer of 2017, we ran 2 pilot studies, installing 50 bottles in 2 locations. A total of 100 solar bottles were installed in the communities of Pontevedra and Maluma.
And it was during these pilot studies when we first met Arnold.
Arnold was the first person who identified with our ethos of improving health by providing light to marginalised communities. He has 2 jobs to provide for himself and his children, and he saw the potential in our vision.
In January, 3 of our members went out to review Source with Arnold to see if we could develop the project and to ensure that we were addressing the needs that were initially assessed. We went back to these communities with 3 goals in mind, which were
to maintain our relationships, to conduct an impact assessment, and to establish the next phase, which includes microfinance and expansion to new areas and to new regions.
We achieved the first goal by visiting our communities and project partners, reaffirming our shared aims of removing kerosene and providing sustainable light.
By talking and engaging with the beneficiaries on the ground, we were able to establish the trust required to implement our product.
We also met with our project partners to strengthen our relationships with them and to discuss the next steps of the project.
With the people in mind, we returned to the communities to get their feedback on the impact of the product and how it has helped them in their day-to-day activities. Here is a small clip of what Willie, Amy Rose, Teresita and Jenny had to say about the product.
Tayo pag may anong sang botilya, paano siya ginagamit? Siya ginagamit? Para saan?
Para sa suga na muli, kung gabi mag-pangme, mag-panyapon kami.
Oo.
Ito pagka, akala, pagwala mo siya bulan naman.
Oo. Amo lang ginagamit mo lang, panyapon lang yan.
Oo. Kasi ako na.
Ano mga kadugay sa muna?
Oo.
Alas 6 gano'n andar niya?
Ikaw?
Apa? Alas 6 ba gusto na yan? Makabasa ba lang, kita mo libro-libro, or magluto-luto. Okay mong kanya.
Tapos minsan magdala ka ng babiyo, sabihin niya maramatikan o ano gamit na source of light for itong solar panel. Gas. O mahal itong inyong gas, yung gamit ninyo na compared sa ano? Siyempre, mahal. Magkano ang tagpila ang gas?
At 60 good ang litro.
Ang litro. Asan yung ginakuha yung ano, mga gas po? Saka natin, maglakaw mo, ano dyan ba ito?
In reality, nagkapamatay sa plus going to the area back and forth, and then 60 pesos per liter, so in 1 week lang. So more or less 200 pesos sa magastos nila in 1 week.
As you can see, the product has enabled Amy Rose, Willie and their 6 children to read at night and has brought their family together. By providing our beneficiaries with the product, we have eliminated their reliance on kerosene. Willie and Amy Rose are now able to provide a safe and risk-free environment for their children. However, from feedback given in our impact assessment, the beneficiaries highlighted a need for a more portable light source.
Ang pinapanigamutan niya, wala siyang pag-ayo sa gilid ang problema nga mga ang katong ubang narang sa asap mo.
Wala dyan naguba?
Naguba.
Ay, naguba dyan. Wala na lang yung gibutan sa inyo.
Ang wala na siya itay.
While we were happy to find that 70% of the bottles were still working well, even after typhoon season, the remaining 30% stopped working due to people trying to remove it from their roofs to make it portable.
From this feedback, we, along with the university, are now developing a portable solar lamp that they can use hand in hand with the solar bottles.
They embraced the new technology but required something more portable to let them carry on with their day-to-day activities. However, Source is so much more than just solar lighting.
Since the start of this project, our mission has always been to provide light to marginalised communities, to improve the lives of our beneficiaries so that they can give back to their communities.
As the famous economist Dambisa Moye said, a short-term efficacious intervention may have few discernible sustainable long-term benefits, hence sustainable development being at the heart of this project.
Our solution? Entrepreneurial action. We have created a program that provides beneficiaries with all the skills they require to become solar entrepreneurs.
After seeing firsthand how effective our product was, Arnold was the first individual who saw the potential in becoming a solar entrepreneur, able to earn additional income for his family whilst cutting down his community's use of kerosene.
As such, we have trained 52 students and 15 beneficiaries to be competent in building the product itself. Through our technical workshops, we have provided them with the necessary skills and knowledge that they are now using when producing, maintaining and repairing the bottles.
As well as this, we've also delivered business workshops, which have taught our current solar entrepreneurs, like Arnold, the fundamental skills that they require, such as basic bookkeeping, sales, and marketing strategies to enable them to make a business out of this project.
The next step is providing Arnold a microfinance loan of up to £165 to cover the materials and tools needed to produce 15 bottles. This will be managed by the NWTF via their Dunganon Ramin-based thrift bank infrastructure, and the entrepreneurs will incrementally repay this loan over a period of 18 to 24 months. They'll then obtain profit by selling the product to the beneficiaries.
Having done our needs and wants assessment in multiple areas, we understand that different communities have different needs relating to varied incomes. Due to this, we understand that a structured loan system would not be suitable for the requirements of different communities and individuals.
As such, our beneficiaries will repay the 1,800 pesos bottle cost in increments to the solar entrepreneur over a period of 9 to 12 months, all dependent on their income.
The solar entrepreneur will then sell the bottles and use the profit to reinvest and repay the loan. We asked our beneficiaries about this concept to get their opinions on it.
So for example, hindi ba bayad yan, wala cash yung diretsyo na rin. For example, bayad ka na semana, or hulug-hulugan, or makaya, get?
Makaya nila mahulug-hulugan sa 300, mahulug-hulugan.
Okay man siya mahulug-hulugan na, okay, madali.
Kung sakaling man mo ang ginatawag na implementary, ang ginatawag na microfinancing. So kalisyan dako ni siya nga tabang, especially sa mga tao, based on my observation, based on my investigation nga ang tao diri is nanginahanglan dito solar man. So magiging maganda talaga may tulong sa community at sa amin mismo kung sakaling mapatuloy at implement yung microfinancing.
As you've just seen, the idea of paying in installments suits the needs and wants of our beneficiaries who are unable to pay for the product upfront due to their limited income.
Rather than spending 9,600 pesos on kerosene, which is about a third of their income, people like Teresita will only have to pay 200 pesos over a period of 9 months in order to repay the product.
Over this repayment period, Teresita would save 7,800 pesos. This means in the first year, she saves 27% of her annual wages. Furthering this, we're not only focused on our current communities, but the expansion of Source to new areas and to new regions.
During the trip, we also visited the southern region of the Philippines in South Cotabato, where we plan to expand the project into Lake Cebu.
The ultimate goal of Source is to enable progress. We want to improve the lives of the beneficiaries, but we want to achieve this goal with the beneficiaries themselves, hand in hand with people like Arnold and Teresita.
It was essential that we established a relationship with the community to ensure that their needs were going to be met by the product, and plans are underway to implement this expansion as we speak.
The progress that we have made this year has been incredible. Project Source has installed 113 solar bottles in 4 communities, directly improving the lives of 539 people.
On average, each household with a solar bottle saves 81% of their previous expenditure on kerosene and 208 hours of travel each year. By using solar power, 52 litres of kerosene is also saved by each household each year.
But Project Source goes so far beyond these numbers. The aim of Project Source was to improve the lives of marginalised communities, and we have done exactly that.
We have provided a means for people like Ricky, Arnold, Teresita and all of their children to do so much more without the restriction of darkness.
Light is one of the main necessities we need to conduct daily and simple tasks in our lives, and Project Source has already impacted the lives of 539 people. But we believe that Source has the potential to change many more lives in the Philippines and wherever else it is implemented.
We will overcome the skepticism of communities via our solar entrepreneurs who will also act as our ambassadors for Source and will help us build these relationships quicker. By October 2018, our communities in Negros Occidental and Sarangani will be using the microfinance infrastructure, and our trained beneficiaries like Ricky and Arnold will be empowered.
This means by the end of 2019, we have implemented the project in 4 new communities, equating to 313 bottles installed and improving the lives of 1,500 people.
We are very excited about the growth prospects at our fingertips. The new community in Lake Segu has already put us in contact with 6 surrounding communities which we plan to expand into over the next 5 years.
This means in the next 5 years, following our current growth to date, Project Source will have been installed in 10 communities, installing 1,000 bottles and improving the lives of 5,000 people.
And we will continue to identify new groups and new communities, both in the Philippines and eventually in other countries. In future years, we expect our network of solar entrepreneurs to be responsible for Source's exponential growth, delivering the promise of a better and brighter future to tens of thousands of people, all at the flick of a switch.
Everything we have shared with you today are real, tangible results. We are so proud of the impact that Project Source has made, but this is just one project. We have 3 other projects we are just as proud.
This year, our members have dedicated time to our 3 commercial projects
And 4 social projects,
improving the lives of 539 people.
and directly impacting 15 more,
We are overcoming issues in local and international communities.
and helping to build a sense of community. Together, we are Enactus Surrey!
I'd like to introduce Dr. Enactus for the Q&A session.
Judges, you can now begin your questions.
Abraham Dawe, JP Morgan. You did mention that you will be introducing a microfinance piece into it where the members will be paying in a monthly installment. How do you ensure that they actually do pay, given the credit risk that could potentially exist? And if they don't pay, what happens?
Thank you for your question. And before I answer the question, I might want to reiterate that our project partner, the NWTF, who we work with microfinance, has a succession rate of over 90% in their microfinance implementation. So we have worked with their model to ensure that the communities that we give the microfinance to will pay back the microfinance loan that we have given to them.
Hi, I'm Martha Mackenzie-Menifee from ING. When I was growing up, my mother used to tell me to be very careful using electrical goods around water. So I'm really interested in your product development, the process that you went through, and were you doing it here or was it partners and safety concerns and the like?
So in terms of the initial design, it was Surrey University who designed the product. In terms of the more technical aspects of it, the university helped us actually source the material and create it. In terms of safety risks, the voltage of the batteries aren't high enough to cause electrocution.
Question regarding your finances. You spent quite a lot this year, half of the money you got available. Can you maybe break down the money you spend on the social expenses and how much of that is one-off investment versus ongoing operational costs?
Thank you for your question. So in terms of the social expenses, 3,000 of that went towards the 2 trips that we had during this Enactus year. So there's one during May and then one in February of 2018. And then the remainder of the amount that went onto the social expenses was spent on the materials used for the pilot schemes in the summer of 2017.
Sorry, and to answer the second part of your question, we currently have some commercial projects running just after this Easter break to bring in the money that we have spent, but unfortunately because the Enactus year runs from April to April, it will fall into next year.
Hi, it's Jim Clifford from Bates Wells, over to your left. You spoke at various stages about health benefits. I think I detected education benefits and time saving. I was interested in those wider social effects. and not solely the entrepreneurship of the product. Can you tell me a bit more about those impacts, please?
Sorry, could you just repeat the...
Yes, you mentioned health benefits, I think education, and one of your slides talked about time saving. Can you tell me more about their effects on the families?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, the time effects. So these people every week have to make the trip down to the urban areas and back up the mountain. So in terms of time saving, we are helping them focus more on other aspects such as other events that they might put on. And in terms of education, we feel that as a developing nation, they are the most vulnerable in terms of the impacts of climate change, along with the rapid urbanization that they're facing. So in terms of the education that we provide, we ensure that we open a conversation of what sustainable development is to these people and ensure that they understand the importance of renewable energy, about recycling. And we feel like by doing this, it's the only hope we really have to ensure a more sustainable world.
Niall McCarthy of NCS Trust. There's quite a lot of organisations that do NGO-based sort of solar lighting around the world, very similar to what you're doing. They have quite advanced products. Just wondering why you decided to go down the route of developing your own product rather than trying to partner with one of them and just spread their reach and their growth.
So the locations that we have identified are extremely rural, so all these other companies tackle more urbanized, kind of near urban areas. In terms of why we have done our own thing is because we wanted to ensure that all of our materials were locally sourced, that the companies in the area were able to benefit from them, as well as that these beneficiaries are the people within the community, so we wanted to ensure that all the benefits were for them.
Your time is finished. Please join me in thanking the